Welcome aboard, Kathy.
Thank you. My name is Cathy Cenzon-DeCarlo. I'm an operating room nurse in the state of New York City. On May 24, 2009, the hospital where I work coerced me to assist in a 22-week abortion. They were well aware that as a faithful Catholic, I could not participate in the killing of a preborn child. Yet they threatened my job and my nursing license if I did not take part in the murder of a baby. I felt violated and betrayed. There was no need for this procedure, but my duties as a nurse included being present for the bloody dismemberment and accounting for body parts afterwards. I still remember the 22-week-old baby's twisted and torn arms, fingers, legs, and feet. It was like a horror film unfolding. I have suffered intense emotional pain because of this coercion. I've had nightmares about babies crying in the dark and engulfed in pools of blood. This coercion was illegal. The hospital receives hundreds of millions of dollars in federal funding every year. But I felt violated all over again when the courts told me that even if the hospital broke the law, I had no right to have my day in court. The Healthcare Conscience Rights Act will change this. It will let doctors and nurses go to court if they are illegally coerced in assisting abortions. In the Philippines, I grew up under the Marcos regime, where people were afraid to voice their opinions. My father and uncle opposed corrupt government practices, and I would wake up each day wondering if the military had taken them. We had no way to protect our God-given freedoms. I became an American citizen in 2011. I immigrated to this country with the belief that religious freedom and freedom of conscience are sacred. Without freedom that we can really protect, this country would no longer be the America of my dreams. Patients and doctors should be able to choose healthcare that heals instead of kills. I am here to ask Congress to pass the Healthcare Conscience Rights Act so every American, including new citizens like me, can enjoy the freedoms that this country was founded on. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Susan Elliott, Director of Nursing at Biola University in Southern California. I was a freshman in college when the Supreme Court legalized the killing of the unborn. We did not cheer or celebrate a new freedom. In fact, we began to fear that if the government no longer protected the unborn, who else would the government go after in the future? However, as a young nurse entering my practice, I was able to enter with a confidence that I could say no without prejudice to any involvement or activity related to abortion. As a nurse practitioner, I have never been able to understand how a physician, nurse practitioner, nurse midwife could go into one room with all of their skilled know-how and try every intervention to save the life of a fetus, and then go into the next room to intentionally terminate that life. How can one room be a room of hope and the next room be an abortuary? Now imagine my horror when learning that the government is telling me that in order to ever again bring hope, I must also cause death. Yes, because of my Christian beliefs, I have been laughed at, marginalized, and had loss of employment. Through it all, I held to my faith-based belief that I have the right for the unborn to be born, my right to not kill the unborn, and my right to not have my salary come from abortion blood money. And now my rights to practice to my conscience have been stripped. My right to choose any healthcare practice, academic, or business employer who says no to paying for abortions and post-sex pills has been stripped. I want my constitutional rights for religious freedom returned. I want the constitutional right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness for me and the unborn, while I raise up the next generation of nurses to a hope and confidence that they will have the same conscious rights throughout their nursing careers. Please support the Healthcare Conscious Rights Act. Thank you. I would like to introduce Christine Ketterhagen.
On behalf of the Newland family and our 320 dedicated employees dedicated to Hercules Industries, we would like to thank members of Congress, Diane Black, Jeff Fortenberry, and Dr. John Fleming for organizing this press conference. We also want to thank our attorneys and the staff at Alliance Defending Freedom for their support and guidance in our fight to enable us to live and to do business as a family-owned company according to our faith with the values rooted in that faith. Hercules Industries was started 50 years ago with the vision of our parents who created a family legacy by continually reinvesting the earnings in our company. They built this business on their own without any government assistance. We created jobs, excellent working conditions, and generous benefits, simply careers that are realized by so many of our employees. Our success has been made possible because we've implemented our core values and our beliefs rooted in a genuine respect for human dignity and respect for life in all of our employees and with our business associates. Now we are at a perilous crossroads in that journey to further this family success story. Our failure is being jeopardized by a health care mandate imposed on us by this current administration. The mandate is in direct opposition to our religious beliefs, moral convictions, and values in which Hercules was built. My family members who have been actively living our company mission are being asked to operate a company by adopting provisions into our health benefit plan that strike at the very heart of our religious beliefs that we live 7 days a week. On behalf of business owners and job creators that want to live and do business according to their faith, we ask you for your support in protecting our religious freedom. You have to know that this administration must completely abandon the idea that it has the power to give and then to take away our fundamental freedoms. We can and we will continue to create jobs as we have for 5 decades if we are allowed to stay true to our deepest convictions and to live and do business according to what we believe. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce Sister Jane Marie Klein, Chairman of the Board of the Franciscan Alliance Incorporated.
Thank you. The mission statement of Franciscan Alliance Health System declares that we are continuing Christ's ministry in our Franciscan tradition. We model our lives and our work after Jesus Christ, a caring teacher and a gentle healer, and St. Francis of Assisi. Jesus and Francis went about the towns and the villages in which they lived, reaching out to people they met along the way in need and addressing those needs as best they could. To say that we are somehow not religious enough to have a right to provide health care in accord with our faith, we find ignorant and demeaning. Efforts to push faith-based health services out of the modern health world will hurt many patients, most in need of loving care. And it will also mean many jobs of the people who serve them. We need legal protection. We need your help to to continue this ministry. We, Franciscan Alliance, actually started over 130 years ago when our foundress, Mother Teresa Banzel, sent 6 sisters from Opay, Germany in 1875 to start a hospital. We came because we were invited by a bishop of Indiana. We came also, to some extent, because of the restrictions that government was imposing on religious congregations in Germany at that time. They were forbidding the sisters to teach, to accept candidates into their community. So our founders looked for our missionary work elsewhere, here in Lafayette, Indiana. Today we have 13 hospitals in Indiana and Illinois, and numerous physician offices, clinics for the poor, ambulatory surgery centers. We have over 18,000 employees who serve hundreds, thousands of people. Last year, we are one of the strongest regional health systems in the country. Last year, we served more than 100,000 patients and inpatients and over 3.5 million outpatients. We have over 3,500 beds. Our goal is to advocate for those in need, as demonstrated by our commitment to providing charity care at cost. In 2012, Franciscan Alliance spent over $171.5 million helping through its various medical care and community outreach programs over 506,000 people living in poverty. Franciscan specifically serves women through our innovative clinical and preventive care, education, and wellness programs. We are also a major teaching health system, including medical students, residents, pharmacy students, nursing students, various other allied health students. We have an estimated 3,100 students working in our health system, side by side with our staff, our doctors, learning to care for patients in a loving, compassionate manner. These students come from a variety of academic institutions, only a portion of which are Catholic universities and colleges. We need your help in keeping our Catholic health system alive. We are not willing to sacrifice our conscience and our faith. We cannot, we will not compromise. We will stand with you side by side, and we are very encouraged by the legislation that is being put forth today to help us achieve and to protect our conscience, our freedom of conscience, to continue the work of Christ and his healing ministry in this very needy world today. Thank you.